Hey everyone, for today's Sip Tuesday we're going to be collecting the seed from our seed pods. So we did a video on this about 5 or 6 weeks ago where we were pollinating flowers on our Echeveria, and I just had a look today, just happened to stumble across them, and some of the flowers have already started to open, which is really exciting. Sorry, the seed pods are starting to open, so I thought I'd do a video and show you what's actually happening there and how we harvest them. But before we go any further, make sure you like and subscribe to our channel. Hit the notification button too, because as we do feature videos and we upload them, then you'll get notified and you can watch them at your own leisure. So today we're doing Echeveria. Well, we're collecting seed from the seed pods of our Echeveria that we did. I've got 3 varieties with me today. Sorry, I'm kind of speaking loudly because we've got some rain at the moment, which is beautiful. I'll always welcome good amounts of rain, but I hope that I'm clear enough. So here we go. So first one we've got here is Echeveria lindsayana, which is looking really nice at the moment. Got a couple of pups on it too, and it's got some some of the flowers that have been pollinated, and you'll notice the pods are starting to swell. So I'll try and put it as close to the camera as I can. I don't know how well that'll go, but you'll notice just inside there's a bit of swelling. So as the flower, if you're noticing swelling in the flower on the pods, that means it's worked, the pollination that you did, which is fantastic. So you'll notice that once pollination has worked, the actual flower, the petals will start to open up like a starfish. You'll have about 5 pods in there, and the more that they start to swell and open up, the more the flower will open up too. So very important to make sure you monitor that. Once you start seeing the pollination has worked, it doesn't take long. It can take about 4 weeks, so about a month, a little bit more depending on the variety, and those pods will actually start to split and start releasing its seed. So it's very important to make sure you're monitoring them about 3 or 4 weeks after that pollination. Probably daily I would recommend, so then you can make sure that you can catch those seed at the perfect time before the pods release them and disperse their seed all over the place. So that was the lindsayana that I just showed you. Now it's very important to be careful with handling the plants, because it doesn't take much for that seed to actually start falling out, so especially if those pods are split. So I've got Echeveria agaboides Romeo Rubin here, which is looking absolutely beautiful, stunning plant, and we've actually had some pods open up. So I've already had a little bit of a trial with a couple of flowers, and we've got some seed here, which is exciting, and I've got another two or three flowers here that I've already started to notice that they've opened up. So we're actually going to do the Rubin. I'm going to show you how to collect that. And the last one that I've got aside here is our Echeveria agaboides ebony, which is looking amazing. I've probably had this plant for about 5 years, 6 years, and very slow growing, that variety, but it's absolutely beautiful. I love the red edges on it. It's absolutely fantastic. So I'll check. We actually have some pods that are open on that one too, so I better be very careful. So you can use a brown paper bag if you wish. You can use a small Ziploc bag. Unfortunately, I didn't have any small ones, so I've just got a bigger one here. And this is where we're going to use to collect our seeding. So I've already collected some seed from the couple of pods that I've harvested. From there you can actually see like little brown specks at the bottom of that bag, so right here, and that's actually the seed, and they just look like little bits of sand particles. So very tiny. I think I did 3 flowers, and I reckon I've got between 200 and 300 seed here. So from one flower it produces a lot of seed. So these are the flowers that I've taken off the Rubin, and the focus isn't very good on here, but you may notice that those pods have actually split open, especially down the bottom there, right where my finger is right now pointing. That's the pod is actually split and released its seed. So I'm gonna take a couple flowers off, and I'm going to show you how I process them. So very important to make sure your bag's already open. Very important. And all I'm going to do then is just grab this flower here. It's already open up, but I can already see that there is quite a lot of seeds still remaining in it. Sorry, that I do apologize, the focus isn't very good at the moment on here. So all I'm going to do then is just open, so grab my other hand, open the bag up like that. Then I'm going to, with my other hand, with my index and my thumb, index finger and my thumb, I'm going to grab the back of the flower, and then I'm going to put it over the Ziploc bag, and then I'm just going to squeeze a little bit and just rotate it round and round, kind of like you're seasoning your food or you're cooking. You can also give it a bit of a tap as well, so tap it, because sometimes that seed can be a little bit stubborn, so good to do that to try and get any remaining seed out. So, and you'll see right at the bottom here, look at that. That's from 4 flowers that I've just, I've already harvested 3 before I did this video. And look at that, that's a lot of seed. So it is quite a good way of propagating Echeveria is from seed. So, but sometimes you can get a little bit of variation. So sometimes the plants will look a little bit different with their shape, with their color, but that's okay. It's cool. You might find a different variation of that plant that you like, and you may decide to keep that seedling and grow it on. So yeah, beautiful. So, and then all I like to do then is make sure you mark on your Ziploc bag the variety it is. You can even do the date that you did it as well, when you harvested them. I personally like to sow the seed quite fresh. I've just found from experience from last spring when I did this, that I actually had a really good germination strike rate. So I like to do it straight away. You can leave it for about a week or 2, or even a month, a couple months, but I just tend to find that it's much better almost as soon as possible, really. So you can actually, you know, if you can just harvest the flowers off and just put them in the Ziploc bag and then process the seed later. But I like to do it on the go. That way I don't get as, like I try and, you know, disperse that seed out and try to avoid getting as much debris, or avoid having as much debris of the flower and the pods in amongst the seed, because that can cause contamination. So when you go to sow your seed, you can actually start having damping off, or a bit of mold, or some other fungus getting in there and causing issues, and can actually kill some of the seedlings that are popping through. So very important to try and get as much of that debris out. You can use it with tweezers, but I just tend to find that little process there, you get majority of the seed out with very little to no debris at all, and it just saves you a job later on when it comes to that. So, and that's all it is really. So I'm just gonna, you know, I've got another one here of this Reuben. Same thing, I'm gonna grab the flower with my thumb and my index finger of one hand. With the other hand, I'm just gonna open up the bag, and then I'm just gonna give it a squeeze, rotate it as well between the 2 fingers, give it a tap as well, and that's it. Then you can get rid of that flower, and the pod that's finished, and that's what you want. So how good is that? That's beautiful, that seed. I'm really looking forward to sowing these guys, and I hope to tend to these guys a bit better, because I did have some Reubens coming up last year. Unfortunately, you got to keep up with the watering with these guys, and summer wasn't too good with them, so sadly. Whereas the Romeos, we had a lot more luck, thankfully. So we should have a nice amount of Romeos available, or coming on late next, well, not early to mid or late next spring next year. So yeah, so I just thought I'd show you. It's a great way of doing it. I just thought I would go through the process of what to do next. So now is a great time to, you know, to monitor the plants that you have pollinated about a month ago. Harvest those flowers, especially the pods that are starting to open. Try to avoid leaving the flowers on there as long as possible, because sometimes if you pick those flowers too early, then the seed may not have matured enough, and you can also have issues with germination there as well. So I tend to like to leave it on there. As you can start seeing the pods starting to split and open up, And once I start noticing that, I'd probably leave them on for about another day or two as they open a bit more. And then when I'm happy with the way, the amount of, I can't even speak. The amount the pod has opened up, then I'll harvest it and I'll put it into one of these bags as well. So very important to monitor that regularly, because one day you can just start seeing it split, the next day your seed can be gone. So yeah, it can really catch you by surprise, really. So yeah, so that's just what we did with the Reuben. Hopefully you found that helpful. If you have any questions, please let me know and I'll get to them as quick as possible. I hope that you're all well, that you're getting some of this beautiful rain that we're getting as well. It's, you know, topping up our tanks, putting more water into our dam, which we're really excited about, and hopefully that'll just provide us with plenty of water going into summer in the next couple of months. So I'm very excited. I hope you are too. Have a great rest of your week, and as always, we'll catch you the next Tip Tuesday. See yous.